Falmouth Is Cooking is made possible in part by the following. Appliances donated by Crane Appliance. Kitchen installation donated by M. Duffany Builders. Specialty studio electric and gallery installation donated by David Rogers Electric. Kitchenware donated by Eastman's Hardware.
Ciao people, this is Falmouth Is Cooking, and I'm using Italian today because I have a wonderful cookbook to share with you and two wonderful cooks, one of whom is Italian and the other, we were just talking, has some German background. But I have the Rizzolis here with me. Just to back up for a second, I'm Gail Blakely, longtime food columnist for the Enterprise, 35 years and still counting, and culinary director at Highfield Hall and Gardens, and also host for Falmouth Is Cooking, which you are now watching. So I have Carol and Hugo Rizzoli here today. They have written a great cookbook that they sent me that I have actually featured in my column, and I'm trying to talk them into coming to Highfield Hall this summer and doing a little cooking outside. But I think we could do some great Italian stuff on the grill. I really do. So we are going to be talking about this book. I'm going to try not to do a lot of talking because these guys have an awful lot to tell us. And I think that what we want to do is just mention the history of the book, which is that Carol told me that the project started 5 years ago to start cooking good food inexpensively. And my goodness, if that isn't really important nowadays, the food costs, we won't even go there. Yeah, really awful.
Speechless.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was also a project at the request of their now grown children, who I guess left home and said, oh, why can't we need to cook some good food? And so we need our parents to tell us what is going on, and how to do this. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Hugo and Carol, and I think that we're going to have a great time. Some wonderful, wonderful food, and I know once again you're going to hear me say, I wish we could invent smell-o-vision so that you guys could really smell what's going to be happening in this kitchen. So welcome, you two.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We have our Cooking with Carol and Hugo, and I guess we will get started.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming, both of you.
Will you lead off?
Yes,
Okay.
I'd be happy to. Gail was talking about the children who asked us to put down some recipes. They missed, after they left home, they missed Hugo's cooking, and I think they missed mine too. And they began to notice exactly how much money they were spending picking up snacks before dinner, and then even buying groceries, and not to mention takeout or restaurant eating. And they wanted some things. How can we cook and save money, Mom? So I went back to the drawing boards, and the soup that I'm going to show today is kind of our flagship recipe. It's I've called it Farmhouse sausage vegetable soup. Good. And it was accidental. I don't know of anybody who hasn't found that it's late, everybody's tired, everybody's hungry, everybody forgot to cook, to shop before cooking. Everybody forgot to shop. And I went to the refrigerator at a family member's house, and here's what I found. Here is exactly what I found. The stores were all closed. I found 3 sausages, 2 potatoes, 4 carrots, a head of garlic, a smidgen of rice, and half a box of chicken broth.
Wow.
And a little bit of tomato sauce left over. This was a grim scene. And
That's grim. It is when you're trying to
the,
cook.
the pressure was on. I felt like a mother is supposed to provide, so I have to make something here. And people were very doubtful. What are you going to do with that? I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I had a sense from home memories, the farmhouse kitchen table at my grandmother's, that there was something that could be done with this. And
lo and behold.
as luck would have it, you may guess that it worked out. And I'll start cooking it, and then I'll tell you why we think it worked out. This was not encouraging, but what we're going to do is turn on. Good.
I just got out of lock, which was very good because I thought we were going to be locked out.
Good. So I'm putting about 2 tablespoons of oil into the pot.
And oil is
Olive oil.
extra virgin?
It
is extra virgin.
extra virgin.
I have a question about the olive oil. Extra virgin versus virgin for cooking. Does it matter?
Technically, it doesn't matter, but we found that there's still a boost in flavor and in quality by using it. And we don't use so much of it that it becomes unaffordable. I mean, we cook a lot, but we're not doing massive quantity. If we were doing lots of cooking every day, in a commercial setting, for example, I would certainly change that out. But for us, we have one very affordable extra virgin. We use it all the time.
Okay.
Of course, one wants to just be careful that it doesn't scorch.
Yes.
Right.
Extra virgin's a little more prone to scorching, but
Right.
we like the flavor, and it's really an everyday cooking oil. So as soon as this is hot enough, I'm going to take some sausage that I've sliced. As I said, there were 3 lonely sausages in the refrigerator.
And we have a packaging here. So these are. That was originally, there were 3 lonely sausages.
Yes.
That's not this time, right?
Yes, it is. Well, no, I bought them fresh, but I'm only using 3 to be true to the origins of this.
That's good. I like that. That's a great, be faithful to the recipe.
And these happen to be chicken, but you could use pork or you could use vegetarian or vegan ones, depending on your personal preference.
And there's so many wonderful chicken recipes now, chicken sausages.
Sausages, yes.
That are just, that should be hot.
Okay, we'll
Yes?
find out. I'm going to put this in.
We want it to sizzle.
Oops.
Oh, we lost the sizzle, but okay.
It'll start in a minute.
All right. Chicken and apple sausage, that's sort of an interesting one. Oh,
Touch
I
of
hear it now.
sweetness in it.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
So we'll get it a little hotter.
It's on high.
Good.
Okay.
We just want it to lightly brown, caramelize a little bit to help release the flavor. And the point of using sausage in this is that it's also going to contribute to the final soup without us having to do a lot of extra work. There, that sounds good, doesn't it?
That sounds good.
That sounds like we're
the way
cooking.
we want it to
Yes,
sound. Yep.
yes, that sounds like we're
And pretty
cooking.
soon I'll be going like this to get that onto the camera. Okay.
And I have some potatoes here that I'm going to coarsely chop.
Okay. Want me to move those carrots for you for now? Can
Thank
Victor
you.
cut them for you while you do this? Is that okay?
He can cut them. Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
You're able to cut a carrot, huh?
Yeah. What would you like? Would you like?
Woo! Now we gotta.
Would you like these halved? Is that
How do
the
you want
idea?
them?
I want them cut in thirds with the stems taken off.
Okay.
Okay, that's coming along just right.
What's nice about this all-in-one pot is that you get the fond, you get the cooking actual browning of what you're doing, and it all goes into the soup. Sometimes when you
Exactly.
do this, you saute, and then you have to deglaze the pan and pour that liquid into this. But this is all right here for extra flavor. So.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Is that all right?
Good work.
That was hard.
And he has good knife skills, so
All right.
I'm going to also ask him
Okay, let's move this
4
over.
cloves of garlic.
Okay, are we
4
putting a
cloves.
mince on these?
4.
mince.
Yes.
I mean,
You can already see you can see.
I know, I'm trying to get so that people will see you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what, but we do have cameras that come down.
Okay.
I forgot we're like high-tech here.
This may be rocking if it's on
Yeah,
both
you're
surfaces.
right. You're correct. And it will start beeping at me.
Okay. And you can take one look here and see who's been to cooking school and who has not.
I can see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At least I don't cut my hands anymore.
We got all our knives sharpened at Highfield Hall last week, and I was terrified that one of my volunteers was going to actually cut themselves, because once a year we get them sharpened, and then we have to figure out how to make do with them. But a sharp knife is a lot easier to use, safer than a dull knife. So.
It's just that if you've been used to dull, I think you're suggesting it can be dangerous if you're used to dull and suddenly
It's like really, yeah.
This is exactly what we're looking for.
Cool, okay.
Not too much, not too little, just right.
Okay. Mama Bear.
And next comes the really difficult part of this recipe. We're going to put everything else,
All right, in.
everything else into that pot.
Okay.
So the potatoes.
I'm going to stand back and
Okay.
let Hugo go ahead and
Okay.
So we want to bring this over now?
The potatoes, the garlic.
some tomato sauce.
So we ready for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Right in the pot.
No, now it's good.
Carrot
I
as
like
well?
that carrot presentation.
Well, it's kind of bite-sized, but we're looking for homey. We're looking for
A
farmhouse.
rustic appearance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is why the potatoes don't require a lot of precision.
Okay.
And that day when I was casting around in my daughter's empty refrigerator, there was half a cup of, actually 1 cup of tomato sauce, or it might have been marinara, and we're going to see about marinara soon, which has many uses. Today I just got some tomato sauce. So 1 cup of tomato sauce. There was half a container of chicken broth, so I have 8 ounces of chicken broth.
Which you have in a box, but we could also make that by using some bouillon. Yes?
Yes. And if you're doing a vegetarian version, it's ever so easy to just use a nice vegetable stock. And then here we have, it should be 8 ounces of water. Let me check here.
Yep.
8 ounces of water.
Your idea was to have half broth and half water for the base for this, is that
So
right?
you have the 8 ounces of that. And then,
Yes. Now, the other thing that I was lucky to find in the cupboard was some thyme, some fennel, and some oregano. If you had basil, you could use that instead. And I like to rub the herb as I put it in.
Yes.
Releases a lot of. Releases a lot of.
The oils
Wow, it
are
really
released.
does. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the oregano, and the fennel we'll put like that.
Okay.
There was a leftover takeout rice.
Okay.
But today I have 1/4 cup of rice that also goes in.
That's beautiful rice. What is that rice?
That's some arborio.
Arborio.
But there wasn't enough to do anything else with. It was just 1/4 cup, so why not?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to put salt, and I just want to say, if you're making this, the sausage you're using may have more or less salt. So I always go lightly, and then we'll taste, and you can always add more, but it is hard to take it out. Don't you find when
I
something's
do,
over-salted?
yes.
So that's about 2/3 of a teaspoon.
Okay.
And some pepper.
Black pepper.
Then we're going to stir it.
That looks like a
and
well-used pepper mill.
it's had a lot of miles on it.
About 40 years.
Really?
Okay. Did I forget anything?
Let's see. I'll go through them. I'll go through the ingredients. We'll do a little checklist here. So we've got pre-cooked sausages that we browned in 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 6 medium-sized cloves of garlic, 4 cups of chicken broth, and
Or 2 cups and 2.
or a combination of broth and water. So we did 2 and 2. 4 carrots, 1 cup tomato sauce, and 2 potatoes. And you could use white or sweet. Yep, you happened to have white that day, so
Yes.
that's how you did that. The white rice, the oregano, basil, thyme, and you added the fennel seed as well as salt and pepper. It's all in there, my dear.
Thank you.
You're all set.
Thank you.
Okay.
And so we'll put it to a simmer and check it in a little while.
Okay. So I'm going to go down to, let's see. It's at a low simmer now, so I'm going to go down to 4, and you check it in a couple minutes and see what it's doing, okay? All right.
And over to.
Okay, over 2.
Maybe we should get this pasta water
I
going
think
first.
we
What do
probably
you think?
should. I think we should. And we'll put it right there.
Yeah, I think you thought that was the best for.
Okay. This was my top for the pasta water. How was that? Pretty good, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why not? Okay, are we going to add salt to this afterwards, or when do you salt your water for pasta?
I have put it in already.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're good on
Okay.
that.
All right.
So we wanted to get that started, and then we're going to move right to
A
marinara.
Okay, all right. I think I'm going to move this one over to there, and let's just see, we want this on high, right?
I want to borrow your olive oil
All
over
right.
there.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
And you want this, you'll need the
I'm
salt
going to need
too.
salt and pepper, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's do this, baby.
Here's the salt.
A little pepper, too, when you get a chance.
I'll need the back when I taste, but it'll be fine.
Okay, so what we're going to do, Hugo, is give you this front burner right here. So that's at 3. So you can work on this one.
Okay,
All right?
great.
There we go.
Matter of fact, we'll go ahead and start. Now,
It's already, yeah, it's already
it's already
started,
going.
so-
So we have, there's a recipe for this. And in our book and on our website, and I'm going to ignore it. Okay?
Okay.
If you don't mind. I mean, I've done this too many times to worry about it. But you can look at the recipe, and the thing is too that it's so simple anyway that it's, but I'll tell you, I'll describe it as we go along. So we're going to start with olive oil and garlic, and this is what especially Italian Americans know as quick sauce.
Okay.
It's a tomato marinara. It's the most basic of all Italian style sauces.
Okay, and there we have it, right there.
It would have its roots in Naples. It's a southern Italian dish. So the oil is heating now. We're going to just go ahead and we're going to put some sliced garlic. This will not be minced, and there's a difference in how you treat garlic before you use it, and we're going to slice it this time.
Tell me the differences.
Well, the difference is that the larger the pieces are that you start with, the less intensity that it imparts to the dish. Now,
Okay.
I do want some serious flavor here, but I'm not going to mince it, and I don't want to take the chance that it could burn. So we're going to go with a,
Okay, that's on 4,
okay, we're going to go with
which is a medium low.
sliced.
Okay.
And as soon as we get a little action on that, then I'm going to show you what the key to this recipe really is, to the key to making a really nice quick sauce marinara.
Now you've got some action here.
Now you've got
Right.
action. Try to
Okay.
step over
I'll
and do it
go
on that.
this
Yeah,
way.
the more, this is very temperamental. It says, if you're going to turn me on, put a burner on me, please. That's
Yes.
what it says.
I see.
So
Put a pot on
put
the
a pot
burner.
on the burner,
Yeah.
sorry, yes.
Okay, so we have the basic tomato sautéing in the olive oil and garlic.
Okay,
And I'll just grab the salt
Absolutely.
over here. We're just going
you're going to want pepper
to use a little salt. And one thing to keep in mind, Carol's always reminding me of this too, is be a little careful.
Back down.
I know, I don't want to
Okay.
overdo it. Be a little careful with salt because a lot of commercial tomatoes come packed with a certain amount of salt. So in general, it's really good to taste first, but I find that it's always going to need a little bit.
All right,
And in this, one herb, okay, in this case, I'm going to use some oregano. I'm going to pinch it to get the oils coming from it.
okay.
And again, we're just going to create
So you're
the
creating
base.
a base is
That's
what you're
right.
doing, okay.
And And then when we feel we've gotten a certain, you know, amount towards that, then we'll go ahead and add the rest of the tomato.
So do you want that to thicken? What is it that you're looking for with this particular? I can see it simmering beautifully.
Yeah,
The oil
it will
is gorgeous.
thicken, it will reduce a little, but
Okay.
it's concentrating the base flavors
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
So then we go ahead and we just finish the dish, and then there's very little to do
Finish
after
the
that.
sauce,
It just finishes on its own, and that's why it's known as a quick sauce.
Okay.
I think we can go ahead and just get this going
So
now.
really just, what do you think, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? What do you?
Up to 30.
Up
and
to 30,
Up to
okay.
30 minutes. But most people, I would say, do it in 15 to 20 minutes.
Yes, you're good in 15,
Yeah.
and it doesn't need 30. But this technique is so simple. It almost looks like he's not doing anything, and that's why no one else in the family could make this. And the kids said, "Yeah, we make his marinara, but it never tastes the same." So he and his brother Paul analyzed what the grandmother and aunt, Zitalia, actually did, and they talk about the mother of the, and that's very Italian all by itself,
Yes, yes.
that key first step.
Yep.
And I've watched this over and over, and you know, no one paid attention because, you know, in a family, the marinara was, it was always just there,
Yep.
and it drew the kids to the table. We never had to call them when he was cooking marinara.
Okay.
And the other thing about it, the reason it's featured as a key recipe in our book is during the pandemic, one runs a 24-hour kitchen
Yes, yes.
and tends to get a little weary. And I suddenly realized the uses of marinara are,
Endless.
yes, but you know, in a traditional Italian kitchen, if they're making one thing, they'll start one way or another. But coming back to oil, garlic, and tomato. So you know what I did, Gail? I made a list. I made a list of at least 10 things you can do with this simple sauce.
Okay, good.
And here's how it went. And I'm sure
right.
you have 20 more, but
Probably.
you can use it as a sauce on fish or shellfish. You can make it lasagna with it. It's a base for pizza. You can make chicken and eggplant parmesan. You can put it in ratatouille as a
Yep,
base.
yep.
In minestrone, in fish stew, in the farmhouse soup
was
that we're
just gonna
making
say,
now.
yep,
Yes.
yep.
And it's a base for many other sauces, even bolognese. I think that's 10.
Even bolognese, wow. Wow.
You can, yes,
Yep.
because it's-
Pizza, did you say pizza? Yes, you
Yes,
said
I-
pizza? Okay.
So I never realized until this is one thing I learned during the pandemic.
Good.
I'm trying to sit and-
Marinara
and-
101 there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have never seen that particular technique of concentrating the garlic, the oil, and a couple of tomatoes. That's very helpful to me.
And with a quick sauce too, you know, temptation might be to put some of this in a blender or use an immersion blender, which we have here somewhere. But in general, I like to keep some of the tomato whole, or at least in pieces. It's really a more authentic presentation. For this particular sauce, sometimes the meat sauces and other things, you'll use more of a passata, which is
Yep. More evenly crushed.
completely crushed, yeah.
One of the things I like to do with this, I do Marcella Hazan's recipe, which is a can of San Marzano tomatoes, 5 tablespoons of butter, and 1 onion peeled and cut in half, and simmer that for about 30 minutes. I'm sure, I know you guys have made that.
We have tried that.
One of the things that I do with that is I use a potato masher. I found that
Yes.
very helpful
Yes,
to
and I do that. I will
do that
And,
too. That's handy.
so, which I'm not sure we have here, but you did a fine job with your,
I can tell you too that I'm
With
not
yours,
above at home using the wine bottle and just crushing the tomato.
Oh,
in it.
really?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Should we put this on so we get the pasta water
Yeah, it's
to a
pretty-
rolling boil?
yeah.
Maybe that'll help it.
I think
How-
that's a good idea because then the next thing we'll do is just go ahead and get these
The pasta in.
in the water.
And then we have some wonderful presentations for you, so.
Here.
That's
We
simmering.
up it- you know, do you think we could put it up a
You
little
want it
bit?
even higher? Okay. You've got potatoes and carrots in there that have to cook. Okay, you're at 8 out of 10.
We'll
How's
see
that?
how that does. Thank you.
And this one now, maybe we can drop this just a little bit if I hit the negative, right?
Yes, go ahead. Sort of lay
Maybe
your
one
finger
more?
on it. Nope, sort of lay like
That's
that.
it? Okay, that's good right there.
Okay. All right, now all of these recipes, I also just want to tell you, are going to be on screen. Carol typed them up from the book and sent them to me. And unfortunately, you will not get all these beautiful pictures, but you'll get a sense, I think. And here, just to give you a little preview, there's dessert. How does that look? That looks pretty good. Wonderful. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and taste this if
All right.
everybody's okay.
Yep,
with that.
you have a tasting spoon right here.
Let's
if you'd
use
like.
the one of those, yeah.
Yep. Okay, and our water is boiling.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and drop this pasta in a minute here.
Okay. No sugar?
No.
Hugo, no. No, oh, no.
Every tomato is different, and you have to season it as it comes to you. This
Okay.
is, to me, this tomato is a little sour,
Oh,
and this will help a little bit. More cooking will help a little, but a little salt, a little extra salt as well.
Do you want to put the pasta in?
Yeah.
Look at that.
So I hope that that
if you want to
continues to
hand me
develop.
that, is that hot?
There you are.
Got it. Let's just put this on this.
I think we have some boiling water
I
here.
feel like we're in an operating theater here.
Yeah.
I like the smoke, the steam. That's dramatic. That
Yep.
tells you
Yeah.
dinner's almost
And
ready.
this is like, just smells wonderful. So, all right, are you going to, some recipes call for taking the can and rinsing it with water and adding a little bit of that water back to it? No, just
Not
leave
in this
it, just
particular
not in this
case.
particular
The only
case.
thing I conceivably do is put a few drops of water in this. This had a thick puree, this tomato.
Yeah,
And is that just plain water right
that
there?
is.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead
You
and
go.
just
Just
a
to
little
thin it out a little
bit.
bit. Now, you could
Yeah.
do broth too, but that wouldn't really,
It changes the character
It
of
does,
it.
it does.
But you know, there might be a case in which we would do that. If the tomato, it turned out, was not good,
yeah,
Now, you
tasted
may-
sort of bitter.
yeah, it might be doing all kinds of things to try to get it working.
All right, I was just going to get the spider there. All right, and this is just simmering around the edge, so
Yes,
just
and that's
perfect.
fine. Yeah.
All right, and our pasta was what brand, may I ask?
This was a 365 Whole Foods
Okay.
spaghetti this time.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so you're not wedded to using Italian ingredients? Well, it's for the $5 foodie, it's going to be a little difficult, isn't
Right.
it? Yeah,
We
okay.
try to match the price to the situation
Okay.
and to the
Okay.
audience. And
Okay.
It's just amazing to me, if you keep an eye on price, how well you can do. I always tell people, in fact, our shopping tips in the book, one of them is when you find pasta for 99 cents a pound, stock up.
yeah.
When I went to buy the carrots for the soup, I was amazed to find organic carrots for $1.25
Wow,
a pound. And
That's a good price for the organics.
yes,
Oh, yes.
they were organic. So I think the markets are trying to test out what people want, and as more people want organic food, the price comes down and it becomes more accessible. So that's one of our main shopping tips. Just if you're trying to keep the budget under control, just look.
Yep.
And you know how we have a tuna wrap with dill, and they still have tuna for 99 cents a can.
Wow.
This has been since I was a girl. It's on the bottom shelf.
Okay,
And
you just have to look for it.
whether the grocers call it a loss leader or what, I don't know, but there are wonderful things there for the taking if you keep an eye. And I also talk about when you go to farmers markets, if you want fresh tomatoes, you're going to make a fresh sauce. A lot of times the less perfect fruit and vegetables are kept out of sight because people want to see beautiful displays
yep,
of perfect. And if you tell the farmer that you want to make tomato sauce, and if that farmer is Italian, you will be
Leaving with a big bunch and
Yes.
probably a recipe too.
yes, and you know, it doesn't matter that they're not perfect for
Yeah.
sauce. And the same is true of apples. I've had wonderful luck trying to
absolutely.
make an apple pie.
Yep, with those apples. You just cut off the bad parts. Yeah, you have a whole bunch of suggestions here
Yes,
on
suggestions.
how to shop, finding discount grocery stores, if an item is on sale by larger quantities, know how to substitute one ingredient for the other, shop late in the day at the local farm market. That's a very good one. Ask the farm market for seconds, the ones that are perhaps damaged. On produce, buying in bulk from the bins, that's very true. You're not paying for the packaging, which is so much easier. And then know when not to shop. This is when you have leftover food that can probably be made into an excellent meal. And that's one I need because I just have these leftovers. And sometimes I get excited by them, and sometimes it's like, oh, what am I going to do with those?
Yeah.
So
That is such an important one. Everybody has, you know, spinach that looks a little wilted, but you know, you toss a few leaves into the farmhouse soup and it comes to life.
Yep.
The carrots that I used in this original recipe were wilted. And so I told my daughter about
that
it.
okay?
Woo, that's too high. We've got to
Okay.
lower it
All
now.
right, let's lower that.
I told my
Excuse me.
daughter about it. She said, whatever you do, don't bring wilted carrots to Gail's show. So we had fresh carrots, but
Is this one,
Yeah, what would you like
we
that a
can
little
just
lower?
knock that down a little bit. There,
How's
perfect.
that? Okay.
let's see, where, oh, do you have my wooden spoon there?
We probably stole it.
No, maybe I threw it into
Maybe
the
there it
sink.
is. Here it is.
Yep, I was using it as a baton before. Okay.
That won't hurt. I just want to check that the
This needs a couple more minutes.
rice
Okay.
isn't sticking.
Okay.
It's looking good.
Ooh,
It's
looks
not
wonderful.
thickened yet,
Yeah.
but it's coming together.
Yep, the rice is just starting to cook, so.
Yeah, so that'll.
And you could use
Take a
any
longer.
rice. You happen to use arborio, but you could use white rice, red
Absolutely.
jasmine rice,
Right.
any of those.
Absolutely.
Now, to thicken this a little bit more and to hasten it, you might want to leave
Okay.
the lid a little bit ajar like this, and
All right.
that'll help.
All right,
Ah,
we'll
okay.
do that.
Yes.
So when we taste it, you
Spoken like a true caterer.
can. Oh yes.
Ah, catering. Oh, don't get me
catering.
started. That's what life is.
That's true.
So when the soup is finished, Gail, you can taste and tell me, but when we analyzed after why this soup was a success and it's a family favorite, you asked me what family favorites were. Everybody in the family makes it now, and Hugo identified it. He is our expert on flavor profiles, and he said this worked because the sausage, the potato, the carrots, the herbs are all suggesting southern France and Provence. And so I was lucky. I did that intuitively, and the sausage giving added flavor. Now, if you opened your fridge and saw corn tortillas and some leftover chicken,
Black
you
beans.
might black beans. You might go for Mexican, and you might put cumin. So, to avoid that kind of kitchen everything but the kitchen sink kind of
Yes,
aspect,
leftover, yeah.
and then you're really not hungry, right?
Right.
You want to. So this soup, I think, has a point of view.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. And when
Okay.
you're trying to use things, you can vary this. If you have chard, that would be a lovely addition.
Spinach,
Spinach is always
arugula.
wonderful.
If you have
Yes.
arugula, any greens, okay. I've gotten into the habit because sometimes at the end of the day I don't always want to make a whole big meal. So I'll put together something quickly like a sauce, and then I'll decide I want greens but I don't want to make a salad. So I will take my spinach, even my kale, if it's really cut very thinly in a chiffonade, arugula, any greens that I have, and put them in the bottom of the colander and then in the sink. And then when I drain my pasta over that, it immediately is cooked. So then I just take that with my tongs and throw it into my pasta sauce. And it's amazing how many different uses you can get for those lingering greens, I call them. You know, the ones that are getting a little yellow around the edge, but not too bad. So.
And one can't discard them.
No, you can't. No, it's really very difficult.
Oh, that's looking.
That's looking
Yes.
nice.
It's better. I'm going
thickened.
to taste it one last time, and I think I'd still add a little bit of water. Now, here's another thing, too.
Oh, make it richer,
Oops,
yeah.
I just turned this off again.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll come take care of it. That's my
This
job.
does enrich it a little bit. Here you go.
I'm
I'll
your
let you
sous
get
chef.
in there.
Did you get the pasta out while we were talking? Is
No.
the
No,
pasta
it's in
ready?
there.
I just tasted it and it wasn't ready.
Oh,
yet.
okay.
Let's try it again.
All right, so we got our power on. Okay.
Is it ready?
And our
It
pasta.
will be in about 5 seconds, yeah.
Okay, I'll let you in there.
I'm going to turn this down. Oh, careful. That's the one thing that you
Oh, I'm
need to-
sorry.
You mean
That's
if you
what
take
makes
it off, it turns off?
Yeah.
It says, give me my pot.
Yeah, but does it actually turn off the burner?
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
it cuts off the power.
Things to learn.
Okay, and then this baby here we want on, and we want it on high. And
I'm
the
going to
soup.
just taste our sauce one more time before, because I think we're almost ready to plate that.
Okay. I spend, I bet 50% of my time on this show.
Working with stuff.
50% talking and asking questions, and 50% dealing with Mr. Induction.
Is that below your pay grade?
We can turn this off and go ahead and, shall we plate up a little bit of this?
Do.
And that needs to come down, right, Carol?
Yeah. Down we go. Okay, that's at medium
Let's
heat.
see.
That should be good. Just the sound, the sound just seems right
As long as I
now.
don't touch something there.
You're fine. I'm right here to change it, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, good, don't go far.
I am just wondering whether the tongs would be easier than this
Okay.
spider this time.
So how much are we cooking up here for our taste? Did you
We
bring up
have-
half a pound?
Yes, that's right, but I don't want to overload the dishes, so we will use whatever looks attractive. How about that?
I've always wondered how to do that. Could you do that again and show me how you make that
Well,
little
the
whirlpool?
way to really do
Do
it
you
is
want a
with
fork?
a fork.
Do you want a fork?
We've got forks
If you've got one, we can try it and see.
somewhere.
Here, here's a fork.
Oh, they're right in front of us, right over there. We're set. We're set, Carol.
Oh, okay.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Let's see if we can do it with this. Sometimes if there isn't enough thickening, not thickening, but yeah. And sometimes I'll use a big kitchen fork. This one,
Okay.
this will be too small to do.
Okay.
But you can twirl it a little bit with the tongs
Yes,
too as well.
okay.
So we have this. Why don't we go ahead and try to serve some of the marinara
All right.
on this.
Okay.
And Carol, would you like to get the cheese? There's some in the fridge. And I don't want to get too much of a...
That's beautiful.
And I want to use some,
Fresh basil.
yeah, if we have. If not, then I'll use parsley.
We
You
have
brought fresh
parsley.
basil.
Do we have basil?
You brought it. Somewhere. Oh,
Here.
look.
Cheese, pesto.
Don't see it.
Okay. Maybe it's in with the, sometimes it hangs out with,
Yeah, I don't think it's here, but it doesn't matter.
okay. Parsley is just as good, different taste, that's all.
Yeah, we're going to use it in the next dish as well. But here, we'll just use a little bit of this just to give it, people can see the idea.
Okay. Hugo, do you want this on still simmering, or
No,
can
that-
we turn it off?
I think we can turn that off now, sure.
Okay.
These tasting spoons are so important. Do you, in your kitchen, always have a jar of tasting spoons? We do.
For the two
She
of
does.
us, I don't. When I cook at Highfield, I absolutely do.
Yeah.
Yes, but at home, I will taste with this. If it's just the two of us. If we're having company, yes, definitely.
I keep this on the counter because we're working here with simple ingredients, and they rise or fall really on seasoning just exactly so. And if I have the jar of tasting spoons, then I don't hesitate to taste and season and taste again. I think there's a tendency to forget that
To taste.
and taste again.
Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous.
Oh,
So the point of what we're going to try to do here is to show just a couple of different quick styles
Okay.
with the marinara. Now we're going to do it again. This time, if you want to get the pesto out of there, we have a little bit of prepared pesto that we can demonstrate this with.
Okay. And of course, not all pesto is basil pesto.
Correct.
Right? You can use parsley for it. You can
Oh, cilantro, there's all kinds of
Cilantro,
possibilities.
arugula.
Yeah.
This
And
is-
I'll let you go ahead and
This is
dress
a
that.
basil pesto. And then you'll drizzle some
And then
of
we'll
the,
do
That's off.
we might note that the Italian flag is green, red, and white.
Good.
So we're doing a little bit of that here.
I knew it was important to say ciao when I started.
Yeah. I'm going to do it in a
that's
ring
nice.
this
That's
time.
beautiful.
The red, the green,
Oh,
and
that's beautiful. And
There it
then
is.
I'll put a little bit of oil just around
Right
the
here.
outside.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Gail, you asked us about family favorites, and this is something that just about everybody asks for their birthday.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now, you see, we might hold back on the Parmesan here because that's already in the pesto. A little
Okay.
redundant, so
Okay.
to make them different, we'll do it this
Okay.
way.
So of course, when you eat it, you can mix it together,
can't
or you can
stand it.
take
I
a
gotta
flipful
try
of
some.
each.
Yeah.
A little bit of pesto, and a little bit of tomato, and a little bit of pasta.
Would you like a spoon? You're gonna do
No,
it.
I'm going to do it by hand because I'm in the kitchen, and that's pretty easy to do.
Did you get it?
Perfect. That is really nice. I never would have thought of doing
One
that.
of the simpler, really, weeknight, even a weeknight dinner.
Now you get around a lot. Have you ever seen it done like this?
No.
I first
Even in Italy, and I've been in Italy
Right.
a number of times.
I ate this in the Cinque Terre decades upon decades ago, and I've never seen it in this country, but I just, red and green, there's a reason those are Christmas colors,
Yeah, yeah.
And the flavors, I mean, if one sauce is good, too, is,
Oh,
I'm glad you like
oh,
it.
I really love it. Yes,
So
I'm going to
the-
fight you for the rest of the ingredients to take home and have tonight.
Fine. Makes it easy. A couple things we should do. I'd like to reuse this water, so we should get it back to at least a
simmer?
halfway
Okay,
simmer.
I
Yeah,
can do that
we
for
are
you.
not.
But you
going
want to get the spaghetti out of
right.
there.
We're not. We have to get this out, and we'll put it in another bowl. Shall I grab a bowl? here
Sure.
for us?
You've got a bowl over here, Hugo.
Yeah, that's for the next dish.
Oh, okay.
So possibly we could.
So
put it
what
in
do you
here.
want?
About halfway up, maybe.
Okay,
It
5.
just needs to be really hot. I'll tell you why. We're going to do a separate pasta for the shrimp dish, seashells. But guess
Oh,
what?
what?
I'm going to show a little trick, and I don't think it comes as a huge surprise to everybody, but it really works. And in catering, we did this all the time. The pasta's cooked
Yep.
and being held, and you know what? It's al dente to the point where it could use to go back into that hot water for barely a minute.
Okay.
And then it's going to marry with the sauce. So we're going to actually hold off on that and go ahead and make the pink shrimp sauce,
Okay.
I think, next. Because
All right. So I'm going to move the marinara to here.
Yeah,
And
then now we're
I
going to
keep
move
thinking that we have an audience here, which we don't
We
because
don't.
of COVID. So I'm thinking, how are they going to see what's back here? And I forget that we have all these marvelous new things. So we are okay to just start with the shrimp right on here and build ourselves a little
That's right.
sort of a barrier. And this is pre-cooked.
Yes, but it's going to hit the hot water
Okay.
again to absolutely finish.
Okay.
And then it's going to go in a hot skillet to, not in a hot skillet, the shrimp will go in a hot skillet.
Okay.
And then we will marry everything
Okay.
at the end.
All right.
So let's see, what should we do now? The water needs to come to about a half boil.
All right,
At
so
some
we
point.
can turn that up for you.
Okay,
So
next.
put it on high, and when it gets up there, we'll turn it down a little bit. And I'm just checking the bottom of our pan here.
And Carol, if you want to help with this a little, maybe you can find our shrimp.
I will.
And
gonna
we
put
will
this
go
in
ahead
here.
with the
That's wonderful. That is truly.
Pink shrimp sauce.
It's exceptional. It
like it.
really, really is. It's really amazing.
Oh, damn it, I didn't.
Okay.
Which burner shall
Put
we
it over
use?
here.
Okay.
Okay.
And only over there.
And there we go, turning it on. What heat would you like for the shrimp?
Something around 4 or 5. No, we don't want it to get crazy.
How
We
about
want this
5?
to yeah, and
Okay.
then we may knock it down, but
Okay.
we'll see.
I'm trying to get the soup back on too. For some reason, everything stopped working, of course, because we're on television.
Yeah.
I have the shrimp.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, the rice is cooking up beautifully, Carol. So it's
Well, I thought Hugo was right. I left the lid off so it would thicken. We wanted
And
it
it
a little
has, look,
thicker.
yeah.
Yes, and the rice I tasted is done already.
okay.
So if it thickens a little bit, we'll be ready. Obviously,
right.
you can cook this 20 minutes, 30.
Yeah, as long as you would like. Yep.
Okay,
Or
we
as
have-
short.
Is there a little heat on this?
There's a
now?
little heat.
Okay.
Yep. 5.
So this is how we continue the saga of the marinara. We're gonna put some in here.
In addition to Carol's 10 ideas.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, that, right. This is
Right.
11.
11. Okay.
And this is pretty interesting. We'll get the, maybe Gail will turn that up a little bit.
Turn this
so
one
we
up?
get a little more action on that, yeah.
I like
And
that. Lights, camera, action.
This is to show that the marinara carries into the rest of life. So we have some here, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Life,
It sounds existential.
marinara is life, right? Okay, so we got some action already on that, that's good. Now, to create the flavor of this sauce,
About a quarter of a cup of wine.
about a half or so. Almost. It's something in between. Again, like I said, I eyeball all of this.
All right. Carol, did you send me a recipe for this?
No.
No. So, okay, so let's do amounts then. Let's do for people watching. So
Okay.
I would say that this was probably about a quarter of a cup
Yep.
of the tomato, the marinara, about a quarter of a cup of white wine, and a little
Which you
salt.
can smell now. already.
Yeah, a little salt, a little pepper, and we're going to
And
bring
now we're going
that
to
to
lay
a
this.
simmer.
We're going to lay all the whole shrimp. They are peeled and deveined, and we'll lay them in. We want to cook them through.
Did you get your shrimp at Whole Foods?
In this case, I did. These are pink Key West shrimp,
Ooh, cool.
which are just lovely.
And this is a special occasion dish.
Yes.
This is,
Yes.
if it happens to be Mother's Day or it happens to be someone's birthday or anniversary, this shrimp with pink sauce is what comes to mind in our
Okay,
house.
okay.
With a curtsy to Marcella Hassan.
Okay. A curtsy
Yeah.
to Marcella.
But she doesn't start with marinara. No, 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 no.
No.
She starts from scratch with the garlic and the oil.
Okay.
But we're trying to, this will achieve the same result. It's olive oil, tomato, and garlic. It's all in there already. So we're achieving the same result. She uses tomato paste instead of the marinara. And what we wanted to show that you've made this marinara on Monday, and here it is, near the end of the week, and you want to have this. You're
Don't
halfway
go
there.
shopping for tomato
Right,
paste
no.
if you already have
Right.
marinara
That's
in your
right.
refrigerator. Yep.
It's such a time saver, and it fits with our program,
Uh-huh.
which is enjoy and cook better, spend less. And
There you
anyway,
go.
it'll speak for itself.
And then when these are cooked through, we want to put them in the food processor, okay? Because that's going to make the base and
okay.
thicken the base for the sauce.
Okay.
This, you're going to make cream
It's
over
over-
here, right? So I'm
I
going to
have
use
it all
this.
set up here for you. Yeah.
What about, we have this processor right here.
Yeah, that's for the cream. We don't
Oh.
want to transfer a seafood
Here,
flavor
Oh,
to the cream.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
have it right here.
If you bring it over here, Carol,
I mean,
we'll plug it in.
okay.
to the ricotta cheese.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn these. I'm going to flip them and thinking that they're just about halfway
Okay.
cooked.
So are we doing any herbs with that or not?
Let's see what we have. No oregano in this. I think we'll just do some parsley on top, some chopped parsley and minced
Okay.
on top.
chopped parsley again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This, let's see. Oh, I bet I can lift this up. There we go.
Gail, I'm adding a little bit more of the marinara because I want to keep the volume up.
Okay.
So that we have enough for the pasta that we're doing, because this is reducing pretty quickly.
Okay. You just, okay, there we go.
Okay, so we'll use this one, is that right? I mean, that
Do you want to add a
processor?
little
Yes.
water and a little more of the sauce there? It
Sure,
looks
go
like
ahead.
It's running short.
Yeah. This is our food processor here, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Is this okay, Hugo?
Yes.
Yes. You know, and I'm going to take this, I don't want to have to carry the pan off the stove, so maybe we'll
All right.
be able to do it this way.
Do they need some liquid to go in as well?
I'm going to add a little bit of whatever is lying around
Okay.
here.
All right. I'm thinking that what you might want to do
Yes.
is move this over.
Okay?
Just a little concerned about getting the blade in place.
Okay.
So let's move this over to here, and I'll hold it, put that baby on there.
Okay, let's see if we can,
See if we can get it to, if not, we can dump it in.
let's do it this way and
Yeah.
go back, because
Okay.
sometimes that does not work. Oh, there. Okay.
All, yep, around and
then
down. There you go.
down, and I'll just
There
put some
you
of
go.
these in here.
So a quarter cup of white wine, about a third of a cup of tomato sauce, because we added another
Yeah.
couple
And
tablespoons.
you know what, it helps to stand over it and do it, but also we're dealing with the kind of vagaries of this stove. You know, when you're cooking somewhere you're not used to, then you have all kinds
Oh,
of
yes,
issues
yes.
sometimes. Okay,
We're
so,
going to use those for garnish?
yes,
Okay,
so we'll save those aside,
all right.
and they can come back up to a low heat, like 3,
Now
4,
look,
5.
I took that off and it didn't yell, and now
Oh,
it's
good.
back on.
It's behaving.
It's behaving. It's spoken like a true mother.
He understands now who's boss.
See what we got here, I think that would
Okay.
work.
Do you need a spoon to taste?
I need a spatula.
A spatula to scrape?
Yeah, like a little rubber spatula.
Rubber spatula.
That
Take your
looks good.
pick.
That'll
Gail,
work.
the soup's done, so we can turn
Okay.
it off.
Okay.
And it'll rest until we're ready
All
to
right,
take
I
Well, we
will
need
do
to
that.
put the cream in and reduce a little bit too.
No, this, we were talking about the soup.
Oh, your soup, yes.
That's really nice.
Let's
Put a little wine in
take
that, or?
no, I want
milk
to
cream?
take the garnish shrimp out and
Okay,
hold
I'll
them
give you a little
aside.
plate for a second. Here, let's just put the babies right in there.
Right, perfect. And we'll put these on at the end.
Yep.
There we
Okay.
go.
Again, this is an interesting variation on a sauce for me. I have not made this like this.
So let's see if we can bring this up to about a 4 or 5.
All right?
And we'll go ahead and
Here's the cream.
add the cream right now.
5.
Okay. And I'm looking at the level of tomato in it too, and just mentally adjusting whether we need to add more of that.
By mentally adjusting, you're looking at the color
I'm
that
look-
it's going to turn?
Yes, and the quantities. I don't want it to be a tomato sauce. I want it to be a pink shrimp sauce.
A pink
A
shrimp.
creamy
a
pink
creamy pink
sauce. Thick enough to cling to the pasta, but, and it doesn't take that much cream.
We need to
This is-
put the pasta in there to reheat.
Where did I put the pasta?
Here
Right
it
here.
is, right here.
Okay, so do you want this at a rolling boil?
About halfway up. It just needs to heat for a minute.
Okay. And I'll put the entire pasta
I think
in.
so.
And what would you say you added for cream now? I'm thinking of my
This is
viewers out there who might want to
Oh,
make this.
it's heavy
So,
cream.
Heavy cream. Start
you
with
know-
a couple tablespoons
Yeah.
and adjust to taste.
Yeah, maybe a quarter of a cup
Exactly.
altogether,
Okay.
but you can adjust it.
All right.
And the other thing I would say is if you wanted to stay away from heavy cream for some reason, we've had great results with sour cream.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. You could do mascarpone cheese.
I haven't tried that.
All right, that would add a whole different
That would
flavor.
change the
Yeah,
character of
okay.
it altogether.
All right.
So in a minute, I think what we do is we take the spider and just bring that into here and let the,
All right.
I think we're almost there with
You are,
this.
you are there.
And I don't want to overheat
All
it.
right, so I put that to high, and let's put this one down. If you won't remember anything else from this show,
Just
it'll
keep
be
it-
how hot over what heat we
Oh,
cook
yeah.
everything. Because I'm telling you, 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s.
And since that's so much of cooking, you know, it's not so much about the ingredients. I mean, obviously it's important, but so much of cooking is about all of these other issues.
Thank you. Okay,
Okay, so
I'm
we've
just
got
waiting for this
this.
to come up to a boil.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Do you need
Can I
this
put them
I
in?
think we're done with
Do you
this.
think they're hot enough?
Just giving it a couple of seconds. You want to try one?
Sure.
Go ahead and try it and tell me if you think they are.
You don't want me to throw it against the wall?
Sure, if
did
we
that
have
one-
any walls.
We did that once in a class at Highfield. Oh my goodness, what a mess we had.
When I tasted these
Perfect.
before, do you think it's done? Okay, you want to spider some of them into here? And
Mm-hmm.
we'll,
You tell me when to stop.
okay.
And how much drainage do you want? Do you want some
Much-
of the pasta water in it?
A little is good, yeah. Okay, and then, you know, what, and then under circumstances where we have a whole lot of control on the stove, I might saute this for a minute. Do we have any heat left on this thing, or?
I have it on 2, but I
Okay.
can, want more?
A
Or are
little
you
bit
done?
more? Yeah,
All right,
yeah. Maybe we'll hold it at that.
okay. And
And
let's,
the idea is to get the pink shrimp sauce inside the shells, cling to the outside.
okay.
Maybe we'll hit it with a little bit more. Here it comes up. It's going to thicken real nicely. Hit it with a little more black pepper.
Now, why didn't you add more shrimp? You're eyeballing it in terms of how you think it's
I
the
didn't,
proportions.
right, I didn't want to overdo the, you know, in a cooking situation that I'm not as familiar with, I didn't want to overdo what was in the sauce.
Okay.
This is, there's enough heat on this for this to finish just sitting here like this. So the only other thing we would do is I'm going to go ahead and just garnish it with this. I think you can turn this off if
All
it's
right.
not already.
There you go.
And this is going to be
Oh, the smell,
Beautiful.
the smell, the smell, the aroma.
another spider, and we'll use this. Okay, you want to hang on to that? And
I will.
And we'll do what we can.
No cheese.
No, and I know you're familiar with this edict that Italians
Of course.
almost never, all right?
Right.
So we adhere to that as much as.
Okay.
Okay, and then the other thing is, Carol, do you think maybe we should set up another dish because I've got enough of this?
No, no, no.
Later, okay.
I don't need to do it right now.
Here
Take
we
it
are.
off the heat.
And we want to,
How's Okay.
beautiful, that's beautiful. And then you can do this any way you want according to your budget or what have you. We will go ahead and just garnish it with the 2 shrimp that we laid out this time.
Okay.
And
perhaps
it's
a
going to make a
little more.
nice.
Oh, and yes, perfect. And then that makes the 3, so we can see
fork
the
for
3
that.
all together.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. That's
Okay.
nice along the edge like that. Yeah.
Gorgeous. All right.
There we go. And then we need a fork for that.
Okay, we got forks. Would you like to try one?
Beautiful.
Victor. Hugo Victor.
Okay,
You're in good shape. It's
I'm
okay.
going to try it and just
I
to see
love
if it
that.
came out okay.
And this one.
Oh yes, please try that, Miss.
Now that pasta just reheated.
Did you get some of the sauce? The seafood? It's infused with seafood now, the pasta.
Wow.
I don't know which one to try.
Do this.
Do I get to try one too?
You get to try them all if you would like.
I'll try this one. He cooked it twice
And
in
I
the
like
past
to,
week.
I
too.
like it out of the pan too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Sort of serving it like that. I do. All right.
What do you think? Did the shrimp sauce come together well? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like it. I like it very much.
Okay. Maybe I will also take a clean tasting spoon and try a little bit of this as well.
Okay, yes, it's really good. I was going to say it almost tastes like there's hot pepper in there, but there isn't. You didn't use any pepper,
Black pepper.
nut or whatever,
Black
just black
pepper
pepper.
only.
Maybe it's
Okay.
enough then.
Yeah, I get that flavor, the back of the mouth, sort of. All right, that was terrific. Thank you. Thank you. You're hired, kiddo.
Thank you.
All right.
So that's how
so
we
should we dish up some soup?
Celebrate. Yes, the soup is ready. I
Okay.
checked it.
Okay. I'm going to move this off the stove for
And
now.
these are all off now, right?
These are all off, correct. Okay. Yep. Spoon for you,
Thank you.
spoons for us,
While
and
you
a
were
ladle, huh?
while you were cooking and doing mechanical engineering with the stove, I tasted the soup.
Okay.
So,
So you know it's
well, like I
ready.
was saying, always taste, adjust, taste again. But in this case, I think we got it. I think the sausage helped us out considerably. And it,
Oh, it thickened a bit,
as
huh?
it sits, it thickens nicely.
Do we want some more parsley for that?
Oh, why not? Sure.
Okay. Oh, everything looks so good. Oh, that's
Everything benefits
beautiful.
with some green. Sometimes I put spinach, and then that serves too.
Should use a soup spoon, but yeah, I will use a soup spoon. Excuse me, sir. Going after my vegetable soup here. Pandemic soup? What should we call it? It's a
Lockdown soup?
lockdown soup. Farmhouse. I think farmhouse is the nice
Farmhouse.
name for it because it is certainly rustic.
Yes.
Did
that's
you
the
taste your own
intention.
soup yet?
Only when I was cooking.
Oh,
Taste
that's
it
good
till
too.
I-
Okay.
You like it? I thought the fennel came through well today.
Yes, and the sausage is, you get a really sort of just an extra flavor with the sausage. Good.
Oh, it's delicious this time. I love it every time. And each time it's a little bit different too, depending
what
on
makes
which
it fun.
direction you take it. It's delicious.
So this is letting simple ingredients work for you. You saw one pot, and but again, with a point of view. With
Yeah.
a point of view, I did not add tuna fish into here. No, 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 no. Think of what point of view you want to capture with your ingredients. I think
Okay.
that's the key.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right, so this is a rum-chocolate ricotta. Chocolate, honey, and rum whipped together with ricotta cheese make for a wonderfully intense, silky smooth dessert, like chocolate mousse, only better, because it can be made healthier and because it's a lot simpler than chocolate mousse, and it's made with ricotta, which is terrific. All right, you can see that if any of you at home have been watching Julia, not the Cooking with Julia, not the reality show, but the one that we've been talking about, everybody's talking about it, is Julia, Simply Julia. And of course, she had her two, best friend Avis and I think her producer, right down here, and they were doing all of the stuff that I'm turning around and doing back here.
I had no idea.
You really didn't? Wow, that's amazing. Okay, go, you're on.
There's
There.
no one down here today. So ricotta, 4 teaspoons of cocoa powder, about 4 teaspoons of honey. This is not a very sweet dessert. That's another way that we're aiming for good health. 4 teaspoons, and we're making 4 servings, so a teaspoon of honey.
And of
per.
course, if you use local honey, which is much preferred, you are
Saving
working
your
with
life.
saving your life and supporting local, and you're also really working on your immune system
That's
and,
right.
and building it up in terms of how the bees pollinate that from exactly where you live.
See, this is a health food.
It is a
Just
health food.
like I
I'll remember that when I
said.
see it lurking in my refrigerator. Okay.
And then we put some rum. Do you want to put about 2 tablespoons of
No,
rum
I've done
in?
that before.
Oh, okay.
I've done that before into the blender, and I made a mess. So I'm going to let you do
That's
that.
good. That's good. It's about an ounce or
tablespoons.
so.
Just about 2 tablespoons.
May I interrupt you for just a second?
Yes.
Just to get back to the previous show where we had the Mount Etna explosion in the blender, which I think was thankfully edited out. I then did some research, and one of the things that I learned was, would you get me the top to the blender for a second, please? That one of the ways that you can not have a Mount Etna explosion is, and you need to pour something in, put this in your blender, of course take this out, and put a funnel in here. And then with the funnel going in, you can just add very slowly whatever you want to add, or probably even measure, which I didn't have time to do last time, so I just glug, 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 in went the rum. Which was quite something.
I didn't see that explosion.
No,
No,
thank
it
you.
was-
Thank you, my
but it
producers.
came
No,
directly up.
yeah. It was like a, what do you call those things?
Vesuvius.
Volcano.
What do you call those things? Vesuvius, Mount Etna, wherever.
Well,
All right.
as you're saying that, I was mindful to double check that everything is locked here
Good,
on.
good.
And if I have any
Safety.
doubts, or if it's a hot liquid, I always put a dish towel over the top. But we'll do this. So you see, we've done about 2 minutes of preparation so far.
Yes.
The ricotta, the honey, the rum, and the cocoa powder. Now we turn on the processor. And it's usually necessary to scrape down the sides
yep.
once. What we're looking for is a satiny and kind of lifted,
Aerated somewhat?
aerated, yes,
Aerated,
as if it's
okay.
been whipped.
When we made pasta last week at Highfield, we made it with the in the processor, and we aerated it first. I used 00 and semolina,
Flowers,
and just
yeah.
ran it through. And then when I put the basil in, it all turned green. It was so beautiful. Oh, really? 1.5 cups of fresh basil was. Oh man.
That sounds lovely.
Oh, I hope you'll do a reprise of that
Well, you
class
may.
so we can
Yeah,
come.
yeah, maybe I'll make some when you guys come to Highfield.
Oh, that would be a good deal.
I'm adding big spoons because I know people are going to want to take big bites.
I brought tiny spoons.
That's okay.
And that is the extent of
That's
the
it?
preparation.
Holy moly.
I didn't tell people for years, but Gail was so persuasive. I decided to share the secret. I would always say,
That's
oh,
quite wonderful.
now it's going to be a little thin. Normally we would refrigerate for a couple of hours
To let it set.
to overnight. Or if you're having guests,
Yeah.
you simply make it the day ahead, put it in the fridge and cover.
Yep.
And
We made panna cotta last time with,
Oh, yes.
with the gelatin sheets, and that was really an amazing dessert. And very simple as well. Powdered sugar, heavy cream and milk, and the gelatin.
I often
Yep.
forget about that, but that and this are very, very quick. If you have people coming over, you can make this in minutes. And
this you can see if you're having a simple farmhouse soup, this is a welcome dessert. Or if you're having a little bit fancier occasion, it goes well with that too. I sometimes serve it in demi-tasse cups.
It's pretty rich.
Right,
Having tried it myself before the show.
a quarter of a cup, or 2 ounces per serving is really adequate there. And then the garnishing is the fun.
Okay, and here's your violets from your house. and some fresh mint and Johnny jump ups from my garden.
Do you have a spoon, Carol?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay.
So I made a little whipped cream. Who doesn't like a little whipped cream, even if it's a health dessert? Chuckle, chuckle.
Right.
Put a little cream.
And this would be done just before serving.
Yes, this part.
Yeah, so we would chill those, take off the top or the wrap or whatever we did.
Right.
I'd be inclined to put them in on a quarter sheet pan and cover that with a quarter sheet pan
Sure.
and just let it sit like that
Sure.
and save the environment with all of the, as much as we can.
Plastics.
With all the plastics.
Absolutely. Okay, so as much or as little cream as you like.
All right.
And Gail, you were out picking
Stuff.
these. Are these edible? Are
Yes, they are edible.
your Johnny Jump Ups
Yep.
are edible?
Johnny jump ups and pansies are edible.
I wanted to say about the violets. I was out there, it was raining this morning, but I was rewarded because last night's storm didn't spoil them. They're as fresh as can be.
Good.
And
It's going to be beautiful.
if you use violets, you of course want to make sure that you're not picking them from a garden
Where
where it's
pesticides
been
or
Or a
treated.
lawn that's been fertilized.
Right.
And then you want to make sure you know what a violet looks like.
Right, right.
It's got the 5 petals. It has the heart-shaped leaf.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
And that's how we do it.
Wow.
Only in springtime.
Only in springtime. Gee, you could also use candied violets, couldn't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Which I've
made
never
those
done.
too.
Yeah,
I've made
maybe
them.
I should do
They're-
those
they're
sometime
fun
on
to
here.
make.
That might be fun to
Gail,
do.
great.
We'll do an edible flowers.
Great job. That's just a beautiful
I'm going to
presentation.
put it right back here on the black just because it's a little more striking. So let me
And
just
it's a
move
very
these off.
spring-like
Isn't
presentation.
that
too.
pretty? And you know what? It tastes as good as it looks. Here you go. With our
Beautiful.
tasting spoons.
Gail brought some mint. You can do lots of things with this to garnish.
Okay, we're just going to dig into one while you garnish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay, thank you.
That way we
dig
can
in.
leave some for the
Oh, that's right,
for the
yes, of
television
course.
staff. Oh my goodness,
Let me see what we have here.
rich, good.
I'll take it.
Go ahead. You can try again.
Everybody watch out. The cook wants to. I just want to see if I got the proportions right.
The fight over the chocolate ricotta.
Right.
Oh, it's good.
Well, we made this and took it to Jim Browdy, and it was the end of a long day, and he wrapped up the show, and as soon as they turned off the cameras, he lunged. He lunged.
He's just sitting at his desk eating.
Wait till you see what the guys do here.
Well,
It'll be interesting.
his cameramen were out of luck because he's a large person.
Yes,
and he
he
has
is.
long arms,
Yes.
and he just reached across the desk and brought it like
Wow,
that.
wow.
Anyway, I'm so glad
All
you like
right.
it.
Oh, I love it. I have loved all the dishes, and I thank you guys for coming. This was really fun. I think we'll wind this down. Next time on Falmouth Is Cooking, we will be doing cooking from the Azores. I'm off to the Azores next week, this coming weekend, and we'll bring back all sorts of ideas from our stay there. However, that's next month, and this
Cannot
month
wait.
I absolutely can't thank you enough. It's been really fun having you both
Thank
here, and I appreciate your supporting the television station. And I hope that this has convinced people to go ahead and now the book is available. Ooh, the book is available. Don't forget that, Gail. At 8 Cousins and Titcombs.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and also online by
Also
contacting
online,
you
sure.
guys. Okay, and I think that's it. That's a wrap for today. Anything final to say?
I want to say we had a great time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. I'm glad. And ciao for now.
Falmouth Is Cooking is made possible in part by the following. Appliances donated by Crane Appliance. Kitchen installation donated by M. Duffany Builders. Specialty studio electric and gallery installation donated by David Rogers Electric. Kitchenware donated by Eastman's Hardware.